Today I want to talk about something. My friend Sam, who I've mentioned in the last video, I've heard from him the last time when he said something like, "Man, I couldn't sleep last night." That's okay. Okay. Well, at what time did you go to sleep? Yeah, like 10. Okay, that's a normal time to go to sleep. Why couldn't you sleep? Yeah, man, like 3 a.m. I just couldn't sleep, man. And I was like, I only fell asleep at like midnight. Then I woke up at 3 a.m. Then I was trying to fall asleep, but then around 5 a.m. My family woke me up, and then I was trying to go back to sleep. And I'm like, so you slept 3 hours, then your body woke you up. You couldn't sleep for another 2 hours. You fell back asleep, and your family then woke you up. Don't you think that's kind of strange? And he was like, yeah, man, right? That's strange as hell. That's like weird. And I'm like, well, I know that you're an atheist, right? But don't you think that this is a sign from God to use your time to do something? Like, I don't you think that this is? You could have gone down and did 100 push-ups. That would tire you out a little more. I mean, I don't know, man. He was like, what the fuck? Why would I do that? I just wanted to sleep. The reason why he couldn't fall asleep, I think, and I told him this is because, man, what if this is, call it your subconscious mind or the universe or whatever? Maybe something was trying to tell you that, hey, man, you still have energy. Use it. Like, right? I think that's kind of logical. Like, whenever I can't fall asleep and I wake up at 3 a.m., I like try to fall asleep for like another 10, 15 minutes. But if I really can't, I go back and record some videos. I go back and try to network with some people. I go back and try to do some work. I try to do something. Even those 100 push-ups could help me. If my body still has energy, why would I try to suppress it? Right? It's like make a coffee, take a cold shower, and get back to work. Right? So it's like I feel like most people are like in this. Andrew Tate said the best. Most people are dim lights. They're like they're not off, but they're on, but they're not bright. So they're like they're not living, they're just existing. When they're awake, they're kind of like sluggish, like kind of tired, kind of energized. And when they go to sleep, they're still kind of energized, so they can't fall asleep. It's like be on or be off. So what I like to do is during the day I'm fucking caffeinated and I take cold showers, I go on runs and get my body moving, and that's when I'm fully energized and that's when I fully focus on work. And then by the time I go to sleep at like 7 or 8 p.m. to wake up at 5 a.m. the next day, it's like, man, I fall asleep immediately. Like, if you can't fall asleep within the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you're not tired enough to go to sleep, in my opinion. I don't think that it's worth it trying to fucking lay in bed for an hour before you before you fall asleep. You could have used that hour to tire yourself out more, and then use that sleep to let your body energize you. Or maybe you had too much blue light before sleep, or maybe you had caffeine in your body still, and that didn't allow you to sleep. Things in your body that are still like, if you still had blue light like 20 minutes before you tried going to sleep, you're gonna sleep shitty. If you still had a coffee like 2 hours ago and now we were trying to sleep, you're probably not gonna fall asleep that easily. You should just empty the gas tank. Bro, trust me, whenever I work all morning, then I go to the gym in the afternoon. I come home at like around 5 p.m. Bro, for the last 2 hours of the day, I'm just learning. I'm just watching some educational videos, some courses, some seminars. And I'm like, I don't drink caffeine when I come home from the gym because that's the time to unwind. I put my all my screens on. How do you call it? Night light or wait a second, let me find out. So put all my screens on the night shift. The night shift, right? That's where I put my screens on. And for the last 2 to 3 hours until I start feeling like really fucking tired. Or okay, I usually still have some tasks done because if I can fall asleep at like 6 p.m., I still will, and I'll wake up at 3 or 4 a.m. the next morning. I don't mind that. But still, the way that my day works is not by time. Like at this hour I do this thing. It's like morning work, afternoon exercise, and then in the evening learn. Because when you learn something and then you go to sleep, your body kind of processes it subconsciously during like sleep. You probably dream about that thing sometimes, so that helps you with remembering. Obviously still take notes when you're learning, and then the second day at the beginning of my mornings I read the notes that I took the last night, and I remind myself of some of those things. But genuinely, if you do work, exercise, and then learning, you're gonna feel sleepy as well. Especially if you eat carbs in the evening, like 3 hours before you go to bed. Don't go to sleep on a full stomach. Okay, this is like most people also, the reason why they wake up tired is actually because you eat a big meal before you go to sleep, right? You have a full stomach. Well, when you're sleeping those fucking 6 to 8 hours, your body also is using those first few hours to process that food, so you get less proper sleep, less quality of sleep, especially if you have an Oura ring or a Whoop. You track your sleep, and you see there that your quality of sleep in the first 3 hours was not that high quality. Why? It was not that efficient. Your sleep efficiency is shit, like 60%. Why? Because your body has to digest the food, and it doesn't use that much energy on recovery. It doesn't use that much energy on producing testosterone during sleep. It doesn't use that on the things that sleep makes you energized the next morning. So then you wake up tired after 8 hours of bedtime, and you think, what the fuck? I slept 8 hours and now I'm tired as hell. Well, yeah, but also your body had to use some energy on consuming all of that food, or on like digesting all of that food. Your sleep is not as efficient. Your sleep is not that high quality. So what I always suggest is, actually, this is what I've heard from someone, but I'm not sure who. 3 hours before bedtime, no food. 2 hours before bedtime, no cold water, only room temperature water. And 1 hour before sleep, no displays or no screens, right? Now, I'm not always that strict with it. Sometimes I'll have food 2 hours before sleep. Usually I don't have like that, like tough meals. I only eat like eggs and beef meat, right? So if I have like a sirloin steak, it digests it within 1 to 2 hours. Right? If I have 6 eggs 2 hours before bed, that gets digested. Oh, by the way, another tip: eat some eggs as your last meal of the day, because then your body produces more testosterone during sleep because of the cholesterol, which we already all know that cholesterol produces testosterone. Cholesterol is what your body uses to produce testosterone. So I suggest eating eggs as your last meal, and also eating eggs as your first meal with a piece of 90% dark chocolate or more, which is an aphrodisiac, which makes your hormones more. It's like a super booster for your testosterone, basically. If you eat at the beginning of your day six eggs, 4 to 6 eggs, with a piece of 90% or more dark chocolate, you're gonna start your day with a really good kickstart. The thing that I was trying to say in this video is, empty the gas tank before you go to sleep. Okay, like literally make sure that you're fucking tired. If you're not tired, go on a run, go on a 3 kilometer or 5 kilometer in the evening. Go exhaust yourself. I think that the gym works for this absolutely the best, because when you go to the gym and you really exhaust yourself, then you feel like fucking tired as hell, and then you might start feeling sleepy, to be honest. If you use those last few sleepy hours before you go to bed, learning and taking notes, then you're gonna feel so fucking sleepy. And by the time you're literally like your eyes start closing as you're watching a video, okay, stop it there, or like finish the video if it's not long, go to bed, and within like 10 to 15 minutes, you're gonna fall asleep. That's the formula that works for me. It's just, if you feel like you're in bed and you can't fall asleep for the past hour, don't try. In exchange, you should use that time to something that will tire you out even more. I don't know, man. Do some work, do some push-ups, or do something that's gonna make you more tired. If you can't fall asleep for hours in bed, it usually, okay, some people may have that insomnia. I don't know how that works, but in my opinion, usually it's because you have too much energy. Because I used to have this problem, right? That I couldn't fall asleep in bed. I had the same problem, but then I started realizing that whenever I really fucking tired myself out physically and mentally in the whole day, then at the end of the day, I fall asleep like a fucking baby. Why? Because I've used that energy. And this is, in my opinion, probably like the best thing you can do. Because then you don't have problem with falling asleep. And then when you wake up energized, because you're not going to sleep on a full stomach, and you sleep those 8 hours. Then you're gonna feel pretty good in the morning. So this is just a quick tip for guys that cannot fall asleep at night. Use your energy, empty the gas tank by the time you really finish it. So this is the video, guys. By the way, one more thing. If you're looking to get in shape this winter, send me a DM on Instagram and we'll see if I can help you. With that in mind, guys, have a beautiful, what day is it today? Have a beautiful Saturday morning. Goodbye, guys.